Now, it's not a link that necessarily springs instantly to mind, but Mersea Island in Essex is about to enter a twinning agreement with the city of Bethlehem.
And it turns out, you'll be surprised to know, they've got more in common than you might think.
In frosty Essex, thoughts were turning to much, much sunnier climes.
This is Mersea Island in the Blackwater estuary. We're about 2,500 miles from the Holy Land, but that hasn't stopped Mersea from becoming the only place in England to twin with Bethlehem.
Old town of Capernaum itself.
It all started when Peter Clements, West Mersey's mayor, went on a pilgrimage to the Holy Land. During the trip, he met Bethlehem's deputy mayor.
I went and shook his hand and gave him the greetings of Mersea Island, saying that we had two things in common with them. One was that we overlook the oldest chapel in England, and they have the oldest church in the world, and their oldest church in the world was built by St Helena, who is the patron saint of our borough. And as a result of that, he suddenly said to me, would Mersea Island like to twin with Bethlehem?
And these are the official letters from Bethlehem to prove it.
It's a long way to go, isn't it? Are they going to pay people to go and visit for us Mersey boys, or...?
Why do you think it's silly?
Well, Bethlehem is already twinned with something like 40 other cities throughout the world.
I don't see why not, because, I mean, we're twinned, aren't we? Lots of places with France and Germany, and so to have something a little bit different, maybe it's a good thing.
The local vicar thinks it's a good thing too, and he's already brushing up on suitable material for the choir.
And I think that the fact that Mersey is such a small and intimate community, it might have something to offer to Bethlehem and people on the far side of the world, which isn't offered by large cities. In many ways, we might be like that small mustard seed that becomes a great flowering plant. So who knows what God has in store for us.
Who indeed? And it's hoped eventually children from Bethlehem may be coming to Mersea Island for holidays. Gareth George, BBC Look East.
I think so, don't you?
Maybe when it's a bit warmer.
Yes, I'll be there. Got a beach, but it's not very warm. Now to the story of a lump of rock, but this is a very special lump of rock. It's the Happisburgh axe, a piece of flint no more than 4 inches long.
The axe was found on the beach at Happisburgh in Norfolk 10 years ago by a man walking his dog. As Mike Liggins reports, its discovery changed what we know about prehistoric man.
It's cold today, but I tell you, it was colder than that day. Out with the dog, we were walking along the beach, and there was just this fraction of a piece of flint sticking up out of the clay.
Up until recently, we thought that humans only arrived in the British Isles about 550,000 years ago. With the discovery of this hand axe and these deposits, we can now push that back to about 600,000 years ago, maybe even 700,000 years ago.
So here it is, the Happisburgh axe. Doesn't look much, but hugely significant. How was it made?
To make a hand axe like that, and it is a hand axe used in the hand rather than a hafted axe on a pole, if you like, first you have to find some good quality flint. And here in Norfolk we've got some of the finest flint in the world. That might be why these hand axes are found here.
Crafted from a larger piece of flint using a quartzite pebble, the Happisburgh axe was made by Homo heidelbergensis. If your prehistory is a little shaky, this is before the Ice Age, before the Neanderthals.
And they would have been used for what?
Specifically for butchery, defleshing skeletons, getting the meat off it to eat. And that's actually not just a knife, it's actually more like a Swiss Army knife. There are many different functions you can use the hand axe for, depending on which edge you're using.
The axe was found by Mike Chambers on the beach at Happisburgh in Norfolk in February 2000. It changed what we knew about early man.
My mind was miles away from 700,000 years. And I mean, when you think that the last person to touch that died 750,000 years ago, I mean, it's just mind-boggling as far as that's concerned.
And this is what archaeologists think Norfolk looked like back then. Happisburgh wasn't by the sea because Britain wasn't an island. It was part of a larger landmass.
It might look a bit exotic. We've got an early mammoth, we've got spotted hyena, we've got bear, we've got lion, we've got giant deer. But that's our natural fauna. Those are the animals that should be living here today. If it hadn't been for the ice ages, the intervening 500,000 years, and early humans butchering and killing these animals and eating them.
Mike Chambers gave the axe to the Norwich Castle Museum on the condition it stay in Norfolk. His next challenge, to find some evidence of the man or woman who made the Happisburgh axe.
We ought to just say some terrific pictures by our cameraman Sean Whitmore.
Not the ones of the Neanderthals.
No. We'll say a little about them. And you can hear more about the Happisburgh hand axe and other objects in Norfolk all next week on BBC Radio Norfolk. And we need your help to tell us a history of the world using man-made objects. Go to bbc.co.uk/a history of the world to find out how you can join in.
Julie has yet more bad news, I think.
Yes, hi, I'm the voice of doom and gloom. This was the picture in Cambridge this afternoon. Some wintry showers there, I think of hail, but of course we've had sleet and snow too. Some of those snow showers actually on the heavy side, producing a couple of inches, so 5 centimetres in places. And according to Mr Durrant from Caister-on-Sea on the coast in Norfolk, we had thunder too. But according to Mr Durrant, that actually could be quite a good thing, because in the diary of an Edwardian lady, it says to hear February thunder means a summer of wonder. So we shall see. But coming back to what we've got at the moment, this is the movement of those showers, most of them of sleet, snow and hail this afternoon, some of them, as I said, on the heavy side. And what we've got out there at the moment is surface water, slush and snow and plummeting temperatures. And